All right, and welcome back to Straight Talk. We're going to continue our discussion just to wrap up or more or less wrap up the security issues that are in our community. We were just talking off air about that last situation and how it did resolve itself, and it wasn't any.
The girl
was found,
and she went home.
or she went home. Yeah.
But it was, like I said, it was still 15 plus hours later or something.
Yeah.
So, but what happened in those 15 hours? You know what I mean? So that's something that, as a community, we have to look at, and how do you deal with that, or how can you deal with that? Not how I think it should be dealt with somehow, by maybe some organization in the community. When something does happen like that, the first 24 hours is important to do something.
It's even a national movement for missing and murdered Aboriginal women has recently started. I mean, it shows that Native women go missing every day, not just in our community, but elsewhere, and that the authorities that be at the time maybe don't put as much support and stock behind finding.
But what's the protocol for an Amber Alert?
I don't know.
And you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Regardless of what may be nationally, maybe there's a specific I'm sure that there's a specific criteria for it. But what is ours here? You know what I mean? Just because there's a national rules that you should follow.
For an Amber Alert or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but what is ours?
Right.
And
that's something we can look into.
so it's something that the community should be looking into, and the organizations that are going to be involved in saying, what does that mean? I know that I had spoke to Arnold Lazar at the Community Protection Office, and he said that they were in the process of doing emergency broadcasting on the cable, and putting something on all the channels if something happens, and it's still in the process of doing it. So I'm sure that's something that they may be looking at too. But what's that team, and who is that team consist of, and when do you call for community members to assist you? And who does that? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of discussion around it, but that's part of this movement too, and how can we help, like, the security, but also that's another, it's still a component of that. But let's get back to the band meeting.
Right.
The walk went well, and there was a band meeting last night, and this was one of the topics. How did that?
Well, they touched on it. MCK stated that they're showing support to the movement. And I mean, in all the meetings that we've had 3 people from MCK, 2 who represent themselves as community members, and 1 representing MCK. So I stood up and I said, all this has been going on, where were you guys? And I explained what I just said about who was there and who wasn't it. And I told them flat out, I said, shame on you for not being there. Community members put you in your position. For myself, okay, they weren't there, but there's elders, there's people who do look up to them and want to see them involved, and
it's their job to secure the community.
I mean, look, when 9/11, the mayor of New York was all over. Where was our mayor? And I called him on it.
But even then, let me just stop you for a second. Even during the 911 situation, Mohawk Council mobiled themselves and became a hub for information from New York to here and to for that situation in New York.
Yeah.
Now that's New York. Here we're here, and nothing's getting done other than saying, "Good job, we support you."
Yeah.
That's all they basically said too. It was kudos.
And it was I don't want to cut everybody with the same cloth, but I mean, the press release came out the day before their meeting, when all this has been going on for a week and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
Elections are coming too, though.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing that people have to look at. And I think that the more people that are getting, and this group's getting more and more, as it grows, that's going to be the catalyst of that. If Mohawk Council or individuals in the Mohawk Council are not going to support the community come election time, then the community shouldn't be supporting them.
Exactly.
So it's time to clean house anyway,
Yeah.
but this is a way of doing it. Don't just sit in your office and lip service. And I said this the last time too.
Yeah.
Be proactive, not reactive all the time.
Yeah.
You know, start doing something, and that goes for the police at the same time. You know, the guys on the road they're doing a good job. I mean, they're there to help. They were there during the walk. They helped out a lot, and I give them a lot of credit for that. I mean, but that's their function. That's what they should be doing. Mm-hmm. But the other side, they have to start being more proactive into the community, and then that's it. And it doesn't take much. And we tell them it's just a matter of, even once a month coming out and saying something to the community. Exactly. And not just writing. People want to see you. People want to see you at those functions. People want to see you all those there. They want to know that they're there, that you're there. Yeah. But more so, Mike DeLille.
Well, I mean,
come on.
Every meeting we've had, it's been brought up by one person or another. Well, where's the mayor? Well, I don't know.
Jesus, there's no football right now. Go out and talk to the community. That's what? Don't hide. I say that all the time. Don't hide. Yeah. You're not going to get beat up. You'll get called down, but you're not going to get beat up. Get out there and at least show the community you're there for them and not only for yourself. It seems like once you get in and you've been there for a few years, then it's like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. The only time I'm going to care is election time, then I want your vote.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well, I had even brought up, when we were talking about the safety, how dark Kahnawake is. Like, there's so many street lights that aren't on. But the buck got passed to the youth, well, if they stop busting the lights.
Yeah, it's their fault.
It's not their fault. It costs $20 for a friggin' light bulb,
It costs more than that.
Put it in, but,
Yeah.
$44 million a year, they can afford a few light bulbs.
We always find money for something that is not as important.
Yeah.
Or that we can do without, but we can't find money for.
Well,
And I'll
Peacekeepers
tell you
just
right
got
now-
an infusion of $500,000 too. They just announced. Maybe they'll put that into something that can help.
And that's
secure
one thing. Like, I mean, I'm a big proponent of prevention, no matter what element we're talking about here or what issue we're talking about. But prevention, and you always hear the old adage, well, with a pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure. It's the same thing when it comes to violence, and vandalism, graffiti, and all these little things. That's actual violence, and a little thing like a broken or a tagged building. All right, if the tag is not removed right away, then other things start to go wrong. And that's the same thing with everything else. If we don't nip it in the bud and start cleaning up things in on the small scale, what might people think? Well, it's just this, it's just that, it's just this. All these little things add up and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then finally, we're all trying to come together and say, well, we got to do something about the drug problem. Okay. Yeah. But what is causing the drug problem? That's what we have to take care of. And I think a lot of people are looking at it from the top down as opposed from the bottom up. And I think that's we have to start changing a lot of our perspective about what is actually going on. If it's security in the community, how can we best make it secure on a grounds level, on our own individual type of element or place.
It's so hard with so many different opinions and strong opinions too.
Yes, definitely. We're very opinionated people.
And I think,
and strong.
like with our gatherings that we've been having, people are speaking up because it's non-judgmental, and we keep telling everybody, you all count. Everybody in this community counts, whether you live here or not. You count.
Right.
So speak up, because you need to be heard.
Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back right after these messages.